I still recall the night I vanished. No farewell note, no reasons, just silence. It wasn't a rash choice. It was survival. Because when you walk in on your wife entwined with another man inside the home you built, the walls don't just fall. They crush you. And that night, buried under betrayal, I did the only thing left. I disappeared. The discovery. It was late, well past midnight when I came home early from a work trip. A canceled meeting meant I could surprise Emily, maybe share dinner, maybe laugh about how we hadn't had a night out in weeks. But when I unlocked the door, the first thing I heard wasn't her voice. It was a man's muffled laugh. At first, I assumed the TV was on. But as I walked down the hallway, the noises sharpened. Whispers. A moan. The creak of our bed. My body froze. My heart knew before my mind would admit it. I pushed open the bedroom door, and there it was. The woman I loved arching into someone else. Her face shifted when she saw me. Not guilt, not shame, but irritation, like I had ruined her moment. And the man, he didn't even scramble to hide. He smirked at me as if he'd already won. I didn't yell. I didn't swing. I just stood there, my world collapsing in silence. Emily broke first. David, this isn't what it looks like, but even she couldn't finish the lie. The vanishing. That night, I packed a bag, withdrew every dollar I could, and drove until the city lights blurred into memory. No calls to friends, no family, no trail. I tossed my phone into a gas station dumpster, bought a prepaid one, and kept driving until the roads narrowed. Signs vanished. Mountains swallowed me. In a tiny town 2 states away, I rented a cabin from an old man who didn't ask questions. I paid in cash, kept to myself, and built a life from nothing. Mornings smelled of pine. Nights were thick with silence. Slowly, painfully, I taught myself to breathe again. Emily called, emailed, begged through mutual friends, but I ignored it all. In my mind, she was gone. Dead to me. I wasn't David the husband anymore. I was a ghost. The unexpected knock. 2 years slipped by. I grew used to solitude. Fishing at dawn, chopping wood for winter, patching leaky roofs for locals who didn't pry. Then one gray afternoon, as rain streaked the cabin window, there was a knock. I froze. No one ever knocked. When I opened the door, my knees nearly buckled. Emily, soaked, shivering, clutching a suitcase, eyes wide and desperate as if she'd run from a fire. David, she whispered, voice breaking. I found you. Old wounds. I should have slammed the door. I should have told her she didn't exist anymore. But my body betrayed me. I stepped aside. She slipped past, dripping water onto the wooden floor, scanning the cabin like she couldn't believe where I'd been hiding. You're alive, she said as though she'd truly thought I might be dead. Why are you here? My voice came out colder than intended. Tears welled in her eyes. Because I never stopped searching for you. Because I can't. I made the worst mistake of my life. I lost you, and I can't live with it. Her words tore at me, reopening wounds I had spent years stitching shut. I turned away. You didn't lose me, Emily. You threw me away. Her side of the story. Over the next hour, she poured it all out. How the affair had been a moment of weakness. How the man meant nothing. How she'd been spiraling with loneliness and resentment. I was blind, she cried. I thought I wanted freedom. I thought I was missing something. But the second you left, I realized you were everything. She told me she'd gone to therapy, quit drinking, had been searching for me ever since. I don't want money. I don't even want forgiveness if you can't give it. I just needed to see you, to tell you I destroyed the only good thing I ever had. I wanted to scream at her, to tell her her weakness had burned down our home, our marriage, my trust. But all I could do was sit there in silence, fists clenched until they shook. The battle within. That night, I didn't sleep. I lay awake on the couch staring at the ceiling while she slept in the bedroom, her breathing uneven. Memories flooded back. Our wedding day, her laugh on road trips, the way she used to fall asleep on my chest. But each memory twisted with darker ones. The betrayal. The smirk on her lover's face. The hollow creak of our bed frame as I stood frozen in the doorway. I realized the truth. I still loved her, and I hated her for it. Confrontation. The next morning, I finally asked what had burned in my chest all night. Why him? Why then? Emily sat at the table, hands wrapped around a mug of coffee, eyes swollen from crying. Because I was angry at you, she admitted softly. You were always working, always gone. I felt invisible. And when he gave me attention, I let myself believe I deserved it. It was selfish. It was cruel. And it destroyed us. Her honesty cut deeper than any lie. And what about now? I pressed. Do you expect me to take you back? Pretend none of it happened? No, she whispered. I just needed you to know I've changed, that I'll regret what I did until the day I die. If you never want to see me again after this, I'll accept it. But I couldn't let you vanish without knowing how sorry I am. Choice. Days passed. She stayed in the cabin, helping with chores, cooking meals like she used to. At times, it felt almost normal, like we'd rewound to a life before the betrayal. But every glance at her carried a shadow. Every laugh felt borrowed. One evening, as the sun dipped behind the mountains, she stood on the porch and said quietly, I'll go tomorrow. I won't force myself into your life anymore. I just had to see you one last time. My chest ached. The thought of her leaving again felt like losing her twice, but keeping her felt like inviting the knife back into my ribs. The final decision. That night I sat by the fire long after she'd gone to bed. The flames cracked, my mind burning with them. Could trust ever be rebuilt? Could love survive betrayal? Or was it like glass, once shattered, forever fractured no matter how carefully pieced together? When dawn came, I walked into the bedroom. She was awake, eyes red, as if she hadn't slept. Emily, I said quietly, I loved you more than anything. I still do, but love isn't enough anymore. Tears slid down her cheeks. She nodded as if she'd expected it. You deserve peace, she whispered, even if it isn't with me. She packed her bag, paused at the door, and looked back one last time. I'll never stop loving you, David. I'll never forgive myself. And then she was gone. It's been months since she left the cabin. Sometimes I wonder if she found her way back to the city. If she rebuilt her life. If she carries the weight of what happened like I do. Do I still love her? Do I want her back? Her betrayal carved scars too deep. But here's the strangest truth. When she found me, when she finally looked me in the eyes and confessed her regret, a part of me released the bitterness I'd been carrying. I may never forgive her, but I no longer live as a ghost. For the first time since that night, I feel alive.